大变局催生新格局，新格局创造新机遇。北接丝绸之路经济带，南连21世纪海上丝绸之路，协同衔接长江经济带的西部陆海新通道应运而生。中共中央、国务院发布《中共中央、国务院关于新时代推进西部大开发形成新格局的指导意见》，在枢纽城市规划、大通道建设、跨境经济合作区布局等方面清晰指引。随着新一轮西部大开发持续升级，相关省市加紧落实部署，提速建设内陆开放新高地，构建多层次开放平台，加快形成以构建国内大循环为主体、国内国际双循环相互促进的新发展格局，为推动新时代西部大开发形成新格局做出更大贡献。2016年1月，习近平总书记赴重庆果园港考察，听取长江上游航运中心建设、铁路、公路、水路联运等情况介绍，并留下殷殷嘱托。2017年4月，习近平总书记视察北部湾港，要求以一流的设施、一流的技术、一流的管理、一流的服务，把北部湾港口建设好、管理好、运营好。西部陆海新通道建设自重庆经贵阳、南宁至北部湾出海口，自重庆经怀化、柳州至北部湾出海口，以及自成都经泸州、宜宾、百色至北部湾出海口3条通道，共同形成西部陆海新通道的主通道。国家出台西部陆海新通道总体规划，西部陆海新通道建设省部级联席会议第1次会议顺利召开。省级层面，西部12省区市、海南省和广东省湛江市在重庆签署了合作共建西部陆海新通道框架协议。目前，通道建立了国家发展改革委牵头14个国家部委和重庆、广西、四川等省区市共同组成的西部陆海新通道建设省部级联席会议制度。13+1省区市全面融入共建西部陆海新通道，建立了由重庆市牵头的西部陆海新通道省际协商联席会议机制，在重庆设立陆海新通道运营有限公司，通道设立西部陆海新通道物流和运营组织中心，负责政府层面的统筹协调工作，各省区市跨区域运营方式，积极筹建区域公司、专业服务公司，通过统一品牌、统一规则、统一运作的方式，各省市首次在物流大通道建设中创新运用跨区域运营平台管理模式，有序推进交通基础设施建设，加快建设重要物流枢纽设施，加强运行组织，提升通道物流运行质量效益。北部湾港口服务逐渐提升，重要节点逐步设立集装箱还箱点，铁海联运一单制逐步推广，国际贸易单一窗口功能不断深化，大型企业积极参与通道建设运营。截至目前，西部陆海新通道服务货品超300类，辐射全球90多个国家和地区的200多个港口，无缝对接中欧班列、长江黄金水道，不断推进通道与贸易产业的深度融合，促进国内国际区域经济协同发展。草木漫发，春山可望，前景可期，大有可为。到2025年，经济、高效、便捷、绿色、安全的西部陆海新通道基本建成。到2035年，西部陆海新通道全面建成，通道运输能力更强，枢纽布局更合理，多式联运更便捷，物流服务和通关效率达到国际一流水平。 为建设现代化经济体系提供有力支撑。西部陆海新通道将中国梦同沿线各国人民的梦想结合起来，惠及全球，造福人类。以此为引领，必将谱写出“一带一路”世界交响乐的未来新篇章。大变局催生新格局。
可以了。
跟你们说话呢。
可以了。Hello everyone, welcome back to iChongqing's channel. This is Echo Chen. Today's live stream is about the new International Land and Sea Trade Corridor, aka ILSTC. It is a major national strategy planned and promoted by President Xi Jinping, a trade and logistics passage jointly built by the provincial level regions of Western China and ASEAN countries. Chongqing municipality is the center of operations for the corridor. Under the China-Singapore Chongqing Demonstration Initiative on Strategic Connectivity, the ILSTC adopts railway, highway, sea transportation, and other transport methods to reach Western China and connect Southeast Asia and Eurasia. Joining us today is Chen Zhang, one of our journalists who has been continuously reporting on this ILSTC topic, and Wang Yaoli. She works for the China-Singapore Chongqing Demonstration Initiative on Strategic Connectivity Administrative Bureau. We are going to present to you the connectivity between Chongqing Guangzhou Port, Beidou Gulf Port Group, and Singapore Port in today's live stream, focusing on the discussion of how Chongqing, Guangxi, and Singapore could benefit from the ILSTC strategy. We have very specific scenes, data, and example to show you, and we would love to see our audience sharing insights with us. This is going to be a really great journey. Please stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe to support us. First of all, I'm going to ask Chen Zhang to briefly introduce some general information about the ILSTC so that we could get to know why this strategy matters to Chongqing and the world.
Thank you, Echo. So the history started in 2017. We realized the regular operation of Chongqing, Guangzhou, Guangxi, Singapore along the Southern Rail Sea Transport Channel. The Chongqing-Qingzhou Port Express for that route also kicked off, marking a new corridor for international trade and logistics. In 2018, China and Singapore signed a memorandum of understanding to develop the new international land-sea trade corridor under the China-Singapore Chongqing Demonstration Initiative on Strategic Connectivity. The Southern Channel was officially renamed as the new international land-sea trade corridor of today.
Yeah, international logistics is at the forefront of Chongqing's development plans. Chongqing is located at the intersection of the Belt and Road Initiative and the Yangtze River Economic Zone. As the corridor development, you can imagine how it can reduce transportation time and increase connectivity to surrounding provinces and regions, as well as have a positive effect on China and ASEAN countries' economic development.
Yes, Over the past 5 years, the ILSTC has formed 3 significant logistics organization types: international rail sea and railroad intermodal transport and cross-border road transport. Effectively connected with the China Railway Express and the Yangtze River Golden Waterway, the ILSTC has expanded its freight scale and radiation areas, reflecting its powerful synergy and great potential.
So you mentioned the China-Singapore Chongqing demonstration initiative on strategic connectivity, which is why we invited our guests and reporters from Singapore to connect with us today. Yao Li, I want to know what's the China-Singapore Chongqing demonstration initiative and how it related to the ILSDC?
The China-Singapore Chongqing Demonstration Initiative on Strategic Connectivity, generally shortened to CCI, is the third government-to-government cooperation project between China and Singapore. With Chongqing as its operation center and modern connectivity and modern services as the same, CCI focuses on the 4 priority areas of financial services, aviation, transportation and logistics, information and communication technology, which have further expanded to cover more areas as it continues to grow. The new International Land Sea Trade Corridor is one of the 5 corridors under CCI. And to further promote it, China and Singapore have jointly issued some cooperation plans under CCI.
Thank you, Yao Li. It's really a huge plan for Chongqing and Singapore, and we've already seen so many collaborations between the 2 regions. We are glad to have our partners in Singapore Port today, Mrs. Tian Lianghui, PSA Port Development Assistant Vice President, and Mr. Ouyang Gangseng, Sino-Singapore Chongqing DC Multimodal Logistics Company and Deputy General Manager. Now let's switch the screen to them.
Hi. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right. We are live. Yes. Yes. Hi.
Yeah, you are live.
Hi. Hello from Singapore. My name is Liang Hui, and I'll be introducing PSA Singapore to you. Singapore is a key node along the International Land Sea Trade Corridor, or the ILSTC, and also the global supply chain. PSA Singapore is one of the flagships of PSA International, a leading global port group. In 2021, PSA International handled 91.5 million standard 20-foot boxes, or TEUs as we say in the port industry. PSA International participates in 65 terminals in 26 countries across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. PSA International has an extensive network of coastal, rail, and inland terminals, depots, district parks, warehousing, marine services, as well as digital solutions such as Global Portnet and Callista. PSA International has also recently acquired BDP International, a leading provider of global logistics solutions. This will strengthen PSA and BDP's supply chain offerings in a climate where end-to-end visibility and supply chain resilience are becoming increasingly critical. Next page, please. PSA Singapore accounts for about 40% of PSA International's volumes, handling 37.2 million TEUs in 2021, which makes PSA Singapore the 2nd busiest container port in the world. 85% of the containers that PSA Singapore handles are transshipped. Now, we've all been through the airport, and transshipment is similar in concept to how transit passengers who land at the airport then catch connecting flights to their final destinations. Singapore is the world's largest container transshipment hub. And did you know 1 in 7 of the world's transshipment containers will pass through PSA Singapore? Next page, please. PSA Singapore is connected to more than 600 ports in over 120 countries, with 230 sailings a week to Southeast Asia alone. PSA Singapore offers extensive connectivity and frequency, connecting cargo owners to all global locations. Next slide, please. PSA Singapore currently operates 9 container terminals across 3 sites as one integrated facility to provide fast, seamless, and reliable service to our customers. From our first-generation container terminals in the city area, which are manually operated, we progress to the second generation Pasir Panjang terminals, which are semi-automated. What you see behind me is a view of our Pasir Panjang terminals, where we have 186 automated yard cranes, which is currently the world's largest fleet, working with manned port trucks. May I have the next slide, please? PSA Singapore is investing in new capacity with our megaport at Tuas, with berth depths of 23 meters up to 26 kilometers of wharf length and quay cranes of 55-meter height. Tuas Port is future-ready to handle the next generations of mega vessels. Next slide, please. Tuas Port uses fully automated cranes and manless port trucks, or what we call AGVs, automated guided vehicles. Tuas Port is expected to be the world's largest automated port upon completion, with capacity to handle 65 million TEUs. PSA Singapore has just started operating 2 berths at Tuas from late 2021. At PSA Singapore, we employ the principles of co-create, converge, and cycle fast in our design. PSA Singapore is not just a port, but a supply chain ecosystem. Now imagine yourself at Tuas Port. All the automated equipment is humming along quietly and efficiently, seamlessly orchestrated by our intelligent systems. A container makes its way from Chongqing to PSA Singapore via the SsCDC. The box is unloaded and unpacked at one of our regional distribution centers, and the box contents, in this live case, lanterns for Lunar New Year, were delivered to a happy customer just in time for our celebratory light-up in Singapore, Chinatown this year. PSA Singapore is co-creating with our customers tailor-made supply chain solutions that converge port automation with digital solutioning. Speed is key, and many of these supply chain solutions have already been delivered along the ILSTC. As the saying goes, 千里之行，始于足下. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It has been incredibly exciting to see the rapid development over the past few years of multimodal logistics capabilities connecting Western China with Singapore, saving time for Chinese shippers and giving them greater outreach to Southeast Asia. PSA Singapore is delighted to be able to contribute to the ILSTC and to the overall Belt and Road Initiative. We look forward to further exciting collaborations. And I'll now hand it over to my colleague, Aoyong, who will elaborate on PSA's capabilities in China and how globally PSA links node to network. Aoyong, over to you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm iChongqing from PSA. Earlier, my colleague Yang Hui shared with you about the multimodal cargo solutions and related services provided by PSA along the ILSTC in Singapore. I shall now share about PSA services along the ILSTC from Qingzhou to Western China, starting from how we began our business in China to what we are today. PSA started our first container terminal investment in Dalian back in 1996. And over the next 20 years, we have since extended our footprint to 10 coastal terminals in China. In the early 2010, we took a hard look at our portfolio and we envisioned that our supply chain business should go beyond the coastal ports, and it was important that PSA to reach out and connect these coastal ports with the larger hinterland in China. We then embarked on our cargo solutions journey, beginning with our investments in 13 rail terminals and extending our service offerings along the supply chain, from building the first mile to the last mile, from warehousing and custom clearance to full cargo solution capabilities, right up to the doorsteps of our customers. To provide our customers with a seamless cargo experience along the entire supply chain, I will now share more about how our services extended from origin to destination upon arrival at coastal ports in China. Now, this slide. Over the years, we have leveraged on our extensive network and have since developed capabilities to provide end-to-end supply chain solutions for our customers. The services extended from order management to the physical cargo flow and documentation flow to management and ground fulfillment services at the destination. Now, let's take a look at our rail handling capabilities in China. In 2016, PSA invested into China's largest inland rail container terminal operator called the China United International Rail Container Company Limited, or in short, CUIRC. CUIRC's network of inland railway containers are strategically located at regional economic centers across the country, forming a strong core of intermodal transport network and providing first-in-class service to our customers. Today, CUIRC is handling close to 60% of the China Rail Express volumes and have since grown from strength to strength. Our distribution centers are situated strategically along the vital ILSTC trade corridors in Guangzhou, Fuzhou, Qingzhou, and Chongqing, respectively, totaling more than 100,000 square meters of warehousing space, providing both bonded, non-bonded facilities and related value-added services for our customers. The International Land Sea Trade Corridor is a key trade and logistic corridor, with Singapore and Chongqing serving as two important nodes, performing a key role in facilitating international trade between Western China and Southeast Asia through the rail sea or intermodal freight transport connectivity. It's a critical cargo transportation corridor that promotes connectivity beyond coastal ports. This ILSTC corridor links Western China to the world, which involves the handling of your containers from Guangzhou Port in Guangxi, loading the container onto the rail for transport to Chongqing, with subsequent connectivity to other cities in Western China, as well as to Europe via the China Railway Express, which forms an alternative for ASEAN-EU transportation. The ILSTC provides several major benefits, such as time and cost savings as compared to traditional transportation routes, where it is faster than ocean shipping and cheaper than air freight. Secondly, seamless connectivity and end-to-end secure supply chain visibility for your cargo. And last but not least, with the increasing emphasis on sustainable logistics, serial transport via ILSTC does offer a significant lower carbon footprint. In 2021, close to 5,000 freight trains were operated along the ILSTC, and we also saw a 13% year-on-year increase in container volumes handled to about 200,000 TEUs that year. Today, the ILSTC is fully connected to 14 provinces, 47 cities, and 91 train stations throughout China. This further illustrates the growing network effect. The 14 provinces include Chongqing, Guangxi, Sichuan, Zhanjiang, Hainan, Guizhou, Yunnan, Tibet, Shanxi, Gansu, Qinghai, Ningxia, Inner Mongolia, and Xinjiang. I will now be sharing more on the container flow process upon its arrival into China and our services along the ILSTC, starting from Qingzhou Port in Guangxi. In 2015, PSA invested in Qingzhou Port, which is our first foray into China's southwest region and has since become a fast-growing economic region in China today. Qingzhou Port has since fulfilled its purpose as an international trade corridor linking ASEAN and China and served as a strategic location to support the growth in this region. Over the past 6-7 years, we worked closely with the government to co-create the supply chain ecosystem that serves the needs of our importers and exporters in Guangxi and beyond by providing best-in-class operations in container handling, efficient and reliable railroad intermodal connectivity for them. Now, let's take a look at our port in Qingzhou. This slide shows the key specifications of our existing Qingzhou terminal and its further expansion plans. Today, the Ipoh Gulf PSA International Container Terminal, or BPCT, is the only international container terminal in this area, as nearby Fangcheng and Beihai ports handle mainly the bulk cargoes. Qingzhou terminal handled 4.6 million TEUs in 2021 and has 18 weekly shipping services, providing excellent connectivity through Asia, in particularly Southeast Asia. When the container arrives in Qingzhou Port, it will be discharged and transported to our CUIRC Qingzhou Rail Container Terminal, which is located just adjacent to the port for onward rail carriage to Chongqing. At the rail terminal, we operate daily rail services to further enhance shipping frequencies to cities in Western China. By the end of the journey upon entering China via Guangzhou Port, the container would have taken about 2 to 3 days to arrive by rail to Chongqing. Under the SsCDC framework, PSA invested and set up the Sino-Singapore Chongqing DC Multimodal Logistics, or SsCDC in short, in 2017. This is a third G2G project between China and Singapore after the Suzhou Industrial Park and the Chongqing Eco-City mega projects. SsCDC is located in Chongqing Liangjiang New Area, in close proximity to Chongqing's key transport nodes, which are the Guangzhou Port and Yuzhui Rail Terminal, in delivering its potential for multimodal handling capabilities. Now, next. This slide is an overview of SsCDC's facility as highlighted in yellow. To our left in green, we see the future Yuzhui cargo rail terminus that is connected to China's nationwide rail network and has a direct linkage to SsCDC's facility via a tunnel link. Up north in white, we have the Guangzhou Port, which is the main river port in Chongqing, with direct access to river ports downstream such as Wuhan and Nanjing, and eventually up to Shanghai. To the right, we have ABB plant, which produces transformer for exports to ASEAN and Oceania regions. Now, we also have a dedicated road link from their plant directly to Yuzhui Rail Terminal via our SsDC. Together with Guangzhou Port Custom Bonded Zone and the project cargo terminus in the east side, the entire SsCDC's ecosystem can match up to any demanding customers with a full suite of multimodal logistic services. Here are some photos of the facility in SsCDC, including 50,000 square meters of container yard and 40,000 square meters warehouse space. The office building will be home to many logistic operators, freight forwarders, e-commerce incubators, trade exhibitors, and live streamers to create and support the region's supply chain ecosystem. At SsCDC, we provide a full range of services ranging from bonded and non-bonded warehouse, container yard, international freight forwarding, and trade procurement services. And is certainly well poised to be the key consolidation hub for both the inbound and outbound cargoes in Southwest China with multimodal handling capabilities. The COVID-19 pandemic has demonstrated the importance of building supply chain resilience and robustness. In this segment, I will share 2 examples of how the ILSCC has helped us achieving this. When the pandemic broke out in early 2020, many port operators along the Yangtze River were severely impacted, and this has heavily disrupted the supply chain between China and the rest of the world. During this time, the ILSCC remained resilient and demonstrated its potential as a reliable and secure alternative that was crucial in upholding the continuous flow of essential goods between China and the rest of the world. The ILSCC, which is connected to China-Euro Railway, also provides a viable alternative transportation route between ASEAN and EU. There has also been a 30 to 40% surge in China-Euro rail cargoes due to shipping delays and higher freight costs. Over the past few months, we have also been receiving many keen interests to find out more about our China-Euro Rail Express services. Well, I really hope today's sharing session about the ILSCC is informative and meaningful to you. Please feel free to reach out to us if you are interested to understand our service offering further, and allow us to come alongside with you to map out your cargo solutions for you together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Tan Lianghui and Mr. Ouyang Gangxing for sharing. Well, actually, I have written many articles about the ILSCC, but never had the opportunity to get to know Singapore in depth. Well, Singapore shares the same importance with Chongqing. They both serve as double hubs in the new international land-sea trade corridor. So now I have some questions for you guys. The first one is, what is the import and export situation of Singapore port? For example, the type of cargo, the transportation route, and the import and export output.
Hi, I think most of the exports and imports for Singapore are basically petrochemicals. We do a lot of electronics as well. And China is one of our major trading partners. So in terms of the transport route, for example, Isla STC has been one of the trade corridors which have really opened up the outreach for our shippers, both from the Singapore side as well as the China side. It has, in fact, helped to reduce the transit times compared to the traditional shipping routes. The ILSTC has managed to reduce the transit time by as much as 2 to 3 weeks. So it has been very fruitful for us, and we hope to further complete this kind of collaborations.
I see that. And can you share with us some experiences about constructing the Singapore port in terms of intelligence and green transformation?
I think there are really two approaches to this. One is that in the development of the port itself, we try to make sure that it is sustainably developed. So in terms of our equipment, for example, in our newest Tuas port, it is all fully electrified to reduce carbon emissions. We also make use of sustainable and green concrete in our construction. So this has reduced by up to 70% in terms of the embedded carbon inside the concrete. And we have also adopted new technologies even for our buildings. So in terms of the electrical consumption, it is actually net zero for all our port buildings. So this is on the port side, some of the technologies that we're using to really help in carbon emission reductions. And then on the solutioning side, we make use of intelligence and digital systems to collaborate with our supply chain solutioning. So some of the supply chain solutions that we partner our customers, for example, from one of our petrochemical plants on one of the offshore islands of Singapore, we basically barge the product to our mainland terminals, and then, for example, make use of the ILSTC to transport it onward to China. And that has not only achieved a reduction in transit time, which I mentioned, but it has also reduced compared to more traditional methods by as much as 70% in terms of the carbon emissions. So these are some of the ways that we hope to help in the green transformation effort. Yeah, thank you.
So as you mentioned, the Sino-Singapore Chongqing multimodal transportation demonstration base in your presentation, what advanced technologies in transportation, logistics, and international network resources from Singapore have been introduced to this project?
Okay. PSA had very vast resources in terms of engineering, IT and innovation, technology, sustainability, and related subjects. So before the construction, PSA have actually supported our SsCDC in the engineering and layout design, and also in the procurement specifications of our equipment, such as the electrified forklift and container stackers. Upon the construction completed early this year, PSA also have sent resources to our site to help us to build up the IT system architecture, such as the warehouse management system, fleet management system, and the depot management system. And also the other operational knowledge that they have accumulated over operating so many ports in the world, particularly in the safety management, site management, and the facilities. So yeah, we are actually very well grateful for the support that we have got from PSA.
Thanks, Mrs. Qian Lianghui and Mr. Ouyang Gangsen for your presentation and discussion with John. We hope Chongqing could pass more experience from Singapore Port and expand its international influence in the future. Meanwhile, as the passage was developed more independent, the cooperation between the China-Singapore Chongqing Connectivity Initiative is paving the way to boost economy in multiple aspects. Yao Li, as far as I know, financial cooperation has always been a key area for CCI, and you work for the Financial Services Promotion Department. Can you share with us some really specific information about the 5 corridor under CCI and how it matters to Chongqing in Southeast Asia?
Sure. Over the past 6 years, as BRI cooperation continues to advance, 5 corridors have been designed and put into action under CCI, namely the new International Land Sea Trade Corridor, China-Singapore Dedicated Data Channel, China-Singapore Cross-Border Financing Corridor, Chongqing-Singapore Express Airway Link, and Chongqing-Singapore Card Trading Exchanges, greatly contributing to closer connectivity between Western China and Southeast Asia. By the end of June 2022, under the framework of CCI, the two sides have signed 211 cooperation agreements for various government and commercial projects worth $252.5 billion US. In the financial service area, we have 226 cooperation projects worth $293.9 billion US. A myriad of projects has been executed in the area of financial services, aviation, transportation and logistics, information and communication technology, as well as education, healthcare, and tourism, making CCI well known as China and Singapore join hands to advance the Belt and Road cooperation.
And can you share with us some specific examples of how the initiative helps to promote the significant reduction of financing costs for Western region in China?
With pleasure. I personally value more about the third-party market cooperation in countries and regions along the new International Land Sea Trade Corridor. Recently, Standard Chartered Bank Chongqing branch, in conjunction with Thailand branch, issued the first 3 million loan for Chongqing Hongjiu Fruit Products Company Limited Thai subsidiary, which is the first third-party market cooperation project in the financial field of CCI, marking another new breakthrough in CCI's third-party market cooperation and expanding coverage and radiation scope of China-Singapore financial cooperation. In the financial field of CCI, the China-Singapore Cross-Border Financing Corridor has helped enterprises in 10 provinces, regions, and cities in Western China to achieve cross-border financing and influence other ASEAN countries, gradually forming a new pattern of point-to-point docking between Chongqing and Singapore, driving area-to-area financial services connectivity between Western China and ASEAN countries.
Thanks, Yali, for bringing us your professional details about CCI, especially the financial part. Next, we are going to connect with Nick, our journalist, and our guest Wang Sijia today, who are in Guangzhou Port right now. How's there, Nick? I'm gonna put you in a screen.
Can you hear me?
Okay, you are on live, and we can hear you clearly.
Okay, great. So right now we are at Guangzhou Port Logistic Hub. It is the largest multimodal transport hub in inland China, and also the only port type national logistics hub in the western region of China. You know, you can see the containers behind me. So as you realize, most of the products we consume daily travel through ports, making them a great important link in the supply chain. And maybe your packages are in some of the containers behind us. As you know, Chongqing's Chaotianmen Pier, the century-old dock, has gradually withdrawn from the threat stage. Chongqing, in 2008, planned to build the largest port in operation in the Yangtze River. So that is today's Guangzhou Port. As you know, Chongqing is not along the borders, and it doesn't rely on the sea transport. But these years, Chongqing has gradually become the frontier of opening up in the China's inland area. So with more and more international opening up channels built, including Guangzhou Port, many international products such as Thailand shrimps, the live shrimps from Thailand, and also the fruits from the Vietnam, cosmetics from Korea, and also the dairy products from Europe, they can easily and quickly reach Chongqing, this city once blocked in the western China. But now the people here can easily enjoy those products, those global products here. And I have to mention that the connectivity of the Guoyuan port can never be praised too much. The great connectivity of this area serve as a bridge, a trade bridge to connect Central Asia, Europe, as well as ASEAN market, so that it can serve as a logistics hub. As I will explain how this connectivity specifically means. To the east, the port connects with the port cities along Yangtze River economic belt. Yangtze River is China's longest river and the world's busiest inner waterway in terms of cargo flow. And to the west, the port is connected with the westbound of China Railway Express to Europe. So here, the cargo can seamlessly connect with the China Railway Express to Europe. It serves as a very important and critical pipeline for China's export to Europe. What's worth mentioning is that on the 23rd last month, the China Railway Express to Europe witnessed its 10,000th trip from Chongqing to Germany. This is a milestone for China's logistics services starting from Chongqing, and also a new start point for the common development of Eurasia. And to the north, this port is connected with the Chongqing-Manzhouli-Russia International Railway. So in this way, this port can be easily connected with Russia and the Eastern European countries. It can create more opportunities for them to communicate and cooperate to foster the foreign trade development. And to the south, that is our leading role. To the south, it is connected with the new international Black Sea trade corridor, as we have mentioned a lot of times in the previous guest's speech. So this way, this trade corridor enables this port to connect with the South China cities and also the ASEAN countries. It also makes progress for us, for Chongqing, to develop toward facing the ASEAN countries to boost the trade with ASEAN countries. And do you know how many days it can save by using the ILSTC?
How many?
Normally, we may need more than 20 days to travel to ship the cargo from here to the ASEAN countries by sea. But now, through the intermodal transportation, combining the railway and the sea and the highway, it can only take like 4 to 5 days. So it's really a huge progress for us. And now we have a special guest join us. She is Sijia. She's from Guoyuan Port. Hi, Sijia.
Hi, Nick. Hi, everyone. I'm very glad to see you guys. I'm from the Guoyuan Port National Logistics Hub.
Yeah, Sijia has worked here for years. I think you are expert of this area. You must know everything about this area. So can you give our audience a brief introduction of the port or the layout or anything here?
Okay, sure. Hello. So now we are at the exhibition platform of Guoyuan Port National Logistics Hub, and here is the is a platform that we can have an overlook of the whole field. First of all, I would like to give you an introduction about the hub. The Guoyuan Port National Logistics Hub is one of the biggest and the most important hub in the inland China. The total area is about 20 kilometers square, and it is at the conjunction of the International Land Sea Trade Corridor and the Yangtze Economic Belt. And here we have different kinds of transportation methods and different various kinds of logistics supporting industries. To be specific, we have the Guoyuan Port, we have the Yuzui Railway Station, and the Guoyuan Bonded Logistics Center. And here is one of our key zones, it's Guoyuan Port. Actually, the Guoyuan Port has 16 berths that can handle 5,000 tons of ships, and there are 14 railway lines which can directly connect with the port. So this infrastructure provides us a basis of our multimodal transport.
So it's my first time to visit such kind of cargo port, and I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed about the the containers and also the container cranes on site. And we can see a lot of logistic activities are going on pretty well organized on site. So Jack, can you introduce us like some logistic activities on site?
Okay, sure. Actually, we can see there are some huge orange equipment. Actually, they are the containers cranes. So they are painted to be orange because it can attract people's awareness and can alarm people while they are operating.
Yeah, I think orange is a very bright color. It's also like some tradition color in the manufacturing industry, also aviation industry. I think you guys must have heard that the black box in the airplane is not actually black. It's also orange because the bright color can easily, attract people's attention when the rescue team are searching for the black box, right? And also the containers here, you can see a lot of containers, but we cannot see many humans there. And during the weather like this, it rains a little, and in summer it's really hot, but the port is still well organized and everything is going on pretty well, but we don't see many operators on site. How can you achieve this?
Actually, because we have made some efforts to improve the workers' welfares. For example, in the past, the workers need to climb 20 meters to get into the operation room, and they need to control the containers in centimeter level precision. And that requires quite a long time for train, usually 1 year. But now we have the digitalize all the containers frame, and we have intelligent remote control system. So the all the containers frames are controlled by the electronic brand. And now the workers can just sit at their office and they just pressed the button to control all the containers. And it also reduced the training time. It only need to take 3 months now.
Now I see. So you can, as Sita mentioned, you can really like understand how intelligent and how smart the managed system of this port is. And apart from the remotely controlled loading and unloading, we can see there are a lot of trucks down below carrying the containers here and there to their next stop. As you know that the port is seamlessly connected with the railway and highway, also the waterway, and it only takes 15 minutes from here to get to the Zhangbei International Airport. So the transportation here is very, very convenient. And what's the significance of this? What it can bring? Then we have this convenient transport condition has attracted many companies to situate it close to the port. For example, ABB Transformer, Costco, and also the Minsheng Logistics. So these companies, these enterprises are situated together around here. They also formed a supply chain to boost the logistics, to boost logistic development here, and and in turn, and the logistics is very important for the enterprises, and the enterprises are also foster the local economy. So we can see many new companies are attracted here because those companies who arrive here first, then serving it as an example for those potential investors and enterprises. So we're so proud that during the past 4 years, 4 to 5 years, the development of this port has made such a huge progress, both for the port itself, but also for the overall economic growth around this area, even for Chongqing, the city. You know, lot I also read the statistics of this month that according to the statistics bureau of Chongqing municipality, it shows that the overall import and export value has reached 800.1 billion yuan. That is 199 billion US dollars. So it is has it is a with an increase of 28% compared to the previous year. So during this import and export process, I think Guangzhou Port Logistics Hub has contributed a lot to this number.
Yes, actually, we can see we have plenty of containers here, and inside the goods are many, like the machinery accessories, the construction materials, the chemicals, as well as the construction materials as well. And after these containers are shipped, they will be sent by our river and ocean combined transport. That means after they are shipped, they will be sent at first to some big ports like the Shanghai port and the Ningbo port by the Yangtze River Golden Waterway, and then they will be sent to the world by sea. Yes?
Yes, this hub is never the end of the transport flow. It is as I mentioned, it's a hub. It's a transit station for the world products. It can strengthen to the world to connect Chongqing with the world. And uh, for the new audience, who are also new to Chongqing's business environment, I want to reiterate that Chongqing is the biggest, is the largest production base for laptops, and is also one of the important automobile production base in China. So you guys, it's a very, a perfect place to do business if you are interested in manufacturing industry. So hello Echo. So you guys, do you have anything else you want to see so we can show you around along this platform?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Nick and Sijia, for showing us around Guoyuan Port. Well, in Chongqing Liangjiang New Area, Guoyuan Port is the largest port on the upper reaches of the Yangtze River and a key point connecting the Yangtze River economic belt and the regions along the Belt and Road Initiative. So now I have some questions for you guys. I have one for Sijia. Compared with land transportation and air transportation, what are the advantages of water transportation mode? And what are the general goods imported and exported from the Guoyuan port?
Okay, actually, according to different customers' requirements, each kind of transportation method has its own advantages and disadvantages. Like the water transport, it is cheap and with large capacity, but it is also slow, and the ship schedule is restricted. And for the air transport, it is faster but more expensive. Another disadvantage of air transport is that the many airlines, they have the requirements of the specification of the goods. And for the railway transport, it has been developed rapidly in recent years in China, thanks to our Belt and Road Initiative. And it is also because that we have the China-Europe Express Railway and the new international land sea trade corridor trains. And at last, for the road trip, for the road transport, it can deliver the customers with door-to-door service, and it is becoming more popular in some Asian countries. And as for the multimodal transport, at Guoyuan Port, you can choose the combination of all kinds of transportation. So that can provide you a not only cost-efficient transportation method, but also time-efficient. Yeah.
Thank you, Sijia. As Nick talked about the great connectivity of Guoyuan Port, I'd like to know more about the south route to connect the new international land sea trade corridor as our topic of today. So what is the general route of the new international land sea trade corridor from the Guoyuan Port, Nick?
So as I mentioned, to the south, the port is connected with the trade corridor. Specifically, there are several international freight lines. I will give some examples. For example, first one is the first China-Vietnam railway. It start from Chongqing, Guoyuan Port to Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. It can reduce the transportation time from 20 days to 4 or 5 days. So compared to the sea transport before, it really saves a lot of transport time. And it also advances the connection between Chongqing and ASEAN countries, also foster the trade between Chongqing and the countries in Southeast Asia. And another one is China. Is China? How to say? Another name is very long. The name is Chongqing Indo-China Peninsula International Intermodal Train. So this train starts from Chongqing Guoyuan Port and then enters Laos through China-Laos Railway, and then it transits in Thailand. Finally, it arrives Myanmar. So when this train opens, it can also save a lot of transportation time. And for Myanmar and Vietnam and Laos and all the countries along the route, they can also join the trade and business between China and the countries along the route. So these two international rail freight lines, helps Chongqing connected with international land sea trade corridor, so that the trade corridor can have its very good role in the whole investment, trade, and business.
I see that, Nick. So I've noticed the China-Singapore Chongqing multimodal distribution and connectivity center, as both you and Singapore guests mentioned. So I'm curious, how is the project going now, and what will its entry bring to the Guoyuan Port?
As far as I know, that the facility has been completed, and also the first batch of the international shuttles has also completed. For Guoyuan Port, it is a very good way to enrich Guoyuan Port's existing transportation network, and it will improve the whole transportation system. For example, through these shuttles, before we have the crisp plums and lemons in Chongqing. We want to transport them to the Southeast Asia countries. Before we have to transit them in Shenzhen, but there is a drawback there, because when they arrive in Shenzhen, they have to wait for several days due to the shipping schedule there. But now things are becoming so easy. They just can start here. They can be loaded here in a freight in the train, and they can go to the Southeastern countries or ASEAN countries through this shuttle, so that people in the ASEAN countries, they can be easily and more quickly to enjoy the specialties from Chongqing. I think it's a very good news for foodies.
Thank you, Nick. Well, next we will have a journalist from Guangxi to show us the Beibu Gulf Port. I was wondering whether the goods from Chongqing will be transported to Guangxi for exportation, and what do you expect from Guangxi Beibu Gulf Port?
Yes, actually, we have plenty of goods will be transported from Chongqing to the Beibu Bay. And we already have many cooperations between the two ports by eliminating some unnecessary documents and reduce some repeated inspections. The enterprise can save their time on the logistics times. So in the future, we hope that we could have the cooperation on more areas, and we also hope that the Beibu Bay can bring and can explore and launch some more international routes, so that helps some more inland enterprise to export their goods. Yes.
Thank you, Sijia and Nick. You know, Chongqing has 38 districts and most of them produce great fruits. We have some really nice Wushan crisp plums here in our studio today, guys. Do you ladies try this before? Because it's really delicious and juicy. And we have an example to show you. This is these pictures that see that? This is the picture. Yeah, there are some pictures to show. On June 17, the Sino-Singapore Chongqing multimodal transport demonstration base opened, and these Wushan crisp plums and Tongliang Huida lemon were transported to ASEAN countries. It's a really specific example to show how this multimodal transport base improved the fruit trade in Chongqing and the Southeast Asia. See? Okay, for those who just got in right now, you are watching iChongqing's live stream show about the new international land and sea trade corridor. It is a strategic corridor jointly built by China and Singapore under CCI, with Chongqing as its operation center and the western provinces and cities as critical nodes. The new international land-sea trade corridor has formed three significant logistics organization types: international rail sea intermodal transport, cross-border road transport, and international railroad intermodal transport, effectively connected by the China Railway Express and the Yangtze River Golden Waterway. The new international land-sea trade corridor has expanded its freight scale and radiation areas, reflecting its powerful synergy and great potential. We have some comments from our audience. They surely want to know more about this international strategic corridor and how it can shape our world more economical, efficient, convenient, green, and safe. But before that, I will release two videos about the Guangzhou Port that Nick and Sijia has visited, and also the video from the PSA where we connect with our reporters from Singapore. Okay, so guys, check these videos.
We live in a constantly changing and complex world. What connects us is global trade. The goods and materials that pass from hand to hand around the world, transformed to fulfill our needs and desires. At PSA, we take pride in helping to make the world smaller and the world economy bigger. With a global network of seaports and inland terminals, and our flagship terminals in Singapore and Antwerp, we move mountains every day. Connecting markets and energizing economies. Half a century of experience in building and managing gateway and hub ports has helped us to hone the act of moving cargo into an art form. World-class port management expertise is the cornerstone of our offering, enabling our customers to move goods with precision and agility and anticipate the needs of their customers. Our people are diverse, yet united with a common vision and purpose: to be alongside our customers and stakeholders, and to be there for one another. As the world continues to evolve and change, we seek to harness new technologies and unfold a better world with imagination, courage, and commitment. What if we could reimagine logistics together, combining skills, passion, and technology to lend our expertise beyond ports? From connecting boxes to orchestrating supply chains, driven by a fresh understanding of the diverse and changing needs of cargo owners. PSA is co-creating cargo solutions and digital platforms and investing in hinterland logistics facilities, enabling you to reach your markets faster and more efficiently, with greater transparency and choices for smarter cargo flow at your fingertips. Together, we can create solutions to overcome challenges in cross-border movements, intermodal transport, and logistics processes, powering trade with greater sustainability for mutual gain. We thrive by connecting communities and empowering our partners with actionable intelligence, creating value from manufacturer to market to consumer. The world ahead is for the connected. This is the industry we are transforming. This is the world we envision. Unfold the future of logistics with us. PSA. Always moving, always alongside.
Welcome back. Here comes our Q&A section, and I'm going to ask Cheng Zhan and Yao Li to answer these brilliant questions for us. And this one goes straight to the point. Let's see. How does IOSTC work to transport goods efficiently?
Well, the corridor has nurtured three major modes of transportation: rail sea intermodal freight train, cross-border trucking services, and international railway express. We take Indonesia as an example. As of 2021, the total number of rail sea intermodal freight trains running through the IOSTC stands at 14,844, with a value of about 2.6 billion yuan. The main goods for import and export are minibuses, engines, and motorcycle parts.
Thank you, Zhan. Another interesting question comes. Can you further Can you further explain how CCI would help to promote the development of Western China and Southeast Asia?
CCI meets the demands of development of Belt and Road initiatives, large-scale Western development, and the Yangtze River economic belt development, and builds on a Tier 3 cooperation mechanism to explore new way to facilitate the cooperation, which was initiated at a high starting point and a high level. Leveraging close interactions between Chongqing and Singapore as two mutual hubs, it sets eyes on forging greater linkage between Western China and Southeast Asia in an attempt to enhance overall connectivity between greater regions and catalyze pragmatic, economic, and social development of regions involved. This is a way to foster a new model of openness and development between Western China and ASEAN, as well as regions beyond.
Thanks for commenting in Zhang and Yao Li's explanation, which emphasized the central power of Chongqing as an international logistics hub worldwide, and for us to better understand the importance of CCI. If you like our show, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support us. You can find more about Chongqing in China in our channel. So next, here comes our last guest today. We have to switch back to the domestic side because Guangxi is really important for the corridor. We are going to connect with our guest from Guangxi. In August 2017, the Southbound Channel Framework Agreement on the building and cooperation of China-Singapore-Chongqing Strategic Interconnection Demonstration Project was signed by Chongqing, Guangxi, Guizhou, and Gansu. Zhan, can you share some information about Guangxi's role in the IOSTC with us?
Of course. The IOSTC is planned to form a network development pattern of double hubs, multiple pivot points, and multiple channels. Specifically, with Chongqing and Singapore as double hubs, Nanning, Chengdu, and other important cities in Western China will function as numerous pivot points. Qingzhou and other Beibu Gulf ports will operate as important interchange points, and the IOSTC will form a multi-channel network through a combination of rail, water, and air transport modes. Well, Guangxi is an important exit port for the new international land-sea trade corridor. At present, Guangxi has completed a series of significant projects in Qingzhou Port, representing the most advanced level of intelligent technology in the port industry and vigorously promoting the corridor's construction.
Today, we invited Kevin Wang, the reporter of Beibu Bay Radio, who's now in Qingzhou Port Group, an important node for the organic connection of the Belt and Road, also the seaport of the IOSTC. And we have Kevin here. Hello, Kevin. Nice to meet you online. Hi, Kevin. Can you hear us? So we might have some connecting problems, and Kevin and his group is connecting with us again. So we will wait for you. Just take your time, okay, Kevin? It's okay. Our audience are really patient about this. Are we good?
Yeah. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and online viewers. My name is Kevin Wang. I'm the presenter from Beibu Bay Radio, and I'm also the Culture and Tourism Promotion Ambassador of Guangxi. Thank you for having me today. Welcome to the Beibu Gulf Port Group, located in Yes, I'm now at the Beibu Gulf Port Exhibition Hall. First of all, allow me to give you a brief introduction of how the IOSTC facilitates the port industry in Guangxi. Right? 5 years ago, the first sea rail intermodal trains via the new international land-sea trade corridor was dispatched. Over the past 5 years, great achievements have been made by dispatching regular trains, building a route network, and achieving an increase of 22 0.9 times in container freight volume. The ILSTC serial intermodal trains have given a strong impetus to the building of Belt and Road Initiative. Next, I'm going to show you the CCTV footage of the port areas under Guangzhou Port group, right? So this is the Guangzhou Port area. Every day, workers at the port unload containers from ships. Trains will be loaded with cargoes like food and textile products. Then depart from the Guangzhou Railway Container Center Station, travel through mountains, and finally arrive at 55 cities in 15 provinces in mainland China, as well as 319 ports in other 107 countries and regions in the world. Strongly driven by the ILSTC, Guangzhou Port has locked a high in cargo throughput, ranking first for its growth among major coastal ports in China. From 2017 to 2021, its container throughput increased from 2.28 million to 610 million TEUs, up 27% on annual average, enabling the port's first place in growth for 4 consecutive years among China's major coastal ports, and allowing it to jump from 16th to 9th place in cargo throughput. The train network has spread over 15 provinces from the original 4 provinces. Thanks to the effective linkage with China Railway Express, the number of C-rail intermodal trains have skyrocketed from 178 to 6,117, an annual average increase of 142%. The number of China-Vietnam cross-border trains have increased from 922 to 1,904, an annual average increase of 19.9%. In the first quarter of 2022, 1,760 C-rail intermodal trains were dispatched, up more than 31%. Guangzhou Port's container throughput reached 1.406 million TEUs, up more than 11%. 682 China-Vietnam cross-border trains were dispatched, up 74.87%, all demonstrating the significant improvement in quality and benefit of the corridor. This year, China has continued to support the ILSTC. In March, the Ministry of Finance, the General Administration of Customs, and the State Taxation Administration jointly issued a notice on the policy for pilot tax refund at departure land port, marking that the Guangzhou Port become China's first coastal port enjoying this policy. Export-oriented enterprises can select tax refunds at the departure port at declaration and will get a tax refund immediately after the departure of the train. Compared with the previous model through which the refund was got after the trains traveled outbound, the new model shortens the time for refund and further enhances the capital turnover efficiency, facilitating smooth operations of foreign trade industry chain and supply chain in Central and West China, effectively stimulating market vitality and strengthening the inner power of the development. On June 28, China's first C-rail intermodal automated container terminal was opened here. With the world's first new type process technological solution, this terminal has fully solved problems existing in the terminal operation process solutions, including high energy consumption and investment costs, unbalanced equipment utilized, and fuel handling points. By contrast, this terminal is efficient, cost-effective, and strongly extensible. At the same time, the terminal is equipped with low-speed rail-mounted gantry cranes, reducing equipment cost. Investment in the construction of storage yards, equipment energy consumption, and wear and tear by more than 30%. It is also designed with China's first intelligent sliding rail shore cargo handling system and first full full region smart security system for ports, and the world's first intelligent maintenance and operation platform system for the automated container terminal. Since the implementation of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, Guangxi has seized great opportunities and taken advantage of favorable conditions to increase the number of serial intermodal trains and category of cargoes. More cargoes, such as recycled pulp, starch from ASEAN countries have been transported to China, while an increasing number of stone materials from Guilin and spare parts for new energy vehicles from Liuzhou have been delivered by serial intermodal chains to Bangkok and Jakarta. As of June 30, 2022, 4,132 serial intermodal chains departed from Guangxi, a year-on-year increase of 42%. Every day, 20 serial intermodal chains depart from and arrive in Guangxi, transporting Guangxi's characteristic products across China and outside of China. Yes, I go.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kevin. Well, I would like to ask you to talk about some advanced technologies of Guangzhou Port. Well, the first one is, what is the convenience of this China's first serial automated container terminal in logistics and customs clearance?
Yes, sure. So first of all, I'm going to invite the first special guest, Mr. Wang Xiao, Deputy Manager of Production Department of Guangzhou Port Limited Corporation, to join us, give us more details, please. 王总你好所以第一个问题就是我们国家的首个海铁联运自动化的集装箱码头可以说是代表了港口行业最先进的一个智能化。那么在物流通关方面会给我们带来哪些便利？
荆州自动化码头服务使用是港口海关数据进一步交互高效和这个那这个在于我们呢可以通过智能化系统可以全程监控到我们货物的位置还有每个操作环节那对于这一个监管效率大大提升。
Okay. After the automated container terminal was put into use, the data interactions between the port and customs are more efficient, and the supervision of customs on import and export container cargoes is completely visualized. Yes.
叠加海关的这一个提前申报两段申报以及这个两段准入的一系列的通关便利化政策那让这个我们的这个零等待实现零等待货物的这个在港的等待时间进一步缩短。
Okay. So coupled with customs clearance facilitation policies, including advanced declaration, two-step declaration, and two-stage access, the automated container terminal achieves seamless connection of steps for goods inspection, so that the duration of cargoes staying at the port is minimized and cargoes do not need to await customs clearance.
Thanks, Kevin and our guest. Well, the next thing is, as an important exit port of the new international land sea trade corridor, how about the trade between Guangxi and countries along the Belt and Road?
所以下一个问题是，那么作为这个西部陆海通道的一个重要的出海口，我们和“一带一路”沿线国家的贸易网。
好的，北部湾港现在已经有了这个内外贸集装箱航线，一共有71条，其中外贸航线有43条，包括6条远洋航线。那与 RCEP 成员国通航的话，一共有33条航线。目前我们的外贸航线可以通达东南亚、东北亚、南亚、南美以及北美地区。内贸航线覆盖全国沿海港口。在今年这一个上半年，我们与 RCEP 成员国家，通过陆海性通道进行的贸易往来的话，已经实现了13个国家的这个联通，实现的货物是35016个的集装箱。
Okay. As of now, the domestic and foreign trade container shipping lines of the port have totaled 71. Among them, 43 are foreign chain lines and 33 are connected to the ports of ASEAN countries. Foreign chain lines can directly reach Southeast Asia, Northeast Asia, India, Hong Kong, of China, and so on. And domestic chain lines connected, such as Guangzhou Port, and so many ports, terminal, among other places. The existing line network of the port links more than 250 ports in 100 countries and regions across the world. In the first half of 2022, 13 ASEAN member countries shipped cargo through the ILSTC with a total volume of 35 and 10 TEUs.
Thank you, Kevin and our guests. So as you said in your presentation, the combination of sea-rail intermodal transport trains and the pilot policy of tax refund at the departure port provides a stable, safe, efficient, and convenient transportation channel for enterprises. So my question is, what convenience does this policy offer for enterprises, and how much has their efficiency been improved?
Yes, now I'm going to have the special guest. Mr. Wei Fengsheng, Deputy General Manager of Marketing Department of Guangzhou Port Limited Corporation. 有请曾总。曾总你好。接下来这个问题是，这个西部陆海新通道海铁联运班列加上陆运启运港退税试点政策这个叠加，可以说是为企业提供了一条稳定、安全、高效和便捷的一个运输通道。那么，请问这个政策如何便利了企业，又提高了多少效率？
现在是这样子，原有的启运港退税政策，是以那个水陆运输为前提的，然后这一次是国家实施的首个陆路启运港退税政策，它是对原有政策的一个重大的一个突破。
Okay. The original tax refund policies for ports of departure are based on the waterway transportation. However, the pilot policies on tax refund at the departure land port are firstly implemented by the nation, which break through the original policies for ports of shipment. Yes, I hope.
Okay, thank you. So the final question is, in the future, how will Guangxi build the Beibu Gulf Port at a high level and create an international gateway of the new international land-sea trade corridor?
Yes, 广西将如何高水平的建设北关国际门户港，如何打造西部海情报的国际？
随着那个 RCEP 政策的一个实施，西部陆海新通道的话也是蓬勃发展。北部湾港将进一步加强硬联通和软联通，全面提升北部湾港的综合服务水平和能力。
Okay. After the original comprehensive economic partnership agreement took effect, the new international land-sea trade corridor has seen vigorous development. The Beibu Gulf Port will further strengthen both infrastructure construction and construction of systems and routes to enhance its comprehensive service capacity and level in all-around way.
在硬联通方面的话，我们是要做到5个聚焦：一是聚焦智慧港口的一个建设，二是聚焦那个集装箱航线的一个开拓。我们力争到2025年实现外贸集装箱航线超过65条，集装箱航线总数超过100条。然后三是聚焦无水港建设。目前我们已经在新通道沿线的地方建成了15个无水港，将来还会新建7个无水港。第4个聚焦的话是聚焦班列的一个运输组织。今年4月我们是那个首开了西安至北部湾港的一个启运港退税政策海铁联运班列，然后我们进一步还会继续加强试点的范围，然后加开班列，实现常态化的一个开行。然后第5个的话就是那个聚焦港口的集疏运能力的一个建设。然后我们的话要做到的话就是主动配合港口主通道的一个铁路网建设，继续推进加密进港铁路建设，然后主动的融入平陆运河的一个建设，实现那个公铁、海铁跟江海铁的一个 完善那个多式联运体系。
Okay. In infrastructure construction, our efforts will focus on 1. Smart port construction, 2. Container shipping line development. By 2025, there will be more than 65 foreign shaped container shipping lines and a total of more than 100 container shipping lines. 3. Dry port construction. As of now, we have built and operated 15 dry ports along the ILSTC and will build 7 more in the future. 4. Optimization of rail transport. In April, we opened the Xi'an-Beibugao Port Sea Rail Intermodal Chain under the pilot policy of tax refund at Departure Land Port, realizing tax refund upon departure. We'll later further expand the pilot scope, dispatch more chains, and realize regular operation of the chains. 5. Construction of the port collecting and distributing system. Great efforts will be made to support construction of the main railway network in the hinterland and especially continue to build this special railway line network for entering the port. Actively participate in the construction of the Pinglu Canal, further optimize the rail sea, highway sea, and river rail sea intermodal transport system.
在软联通方面的话，我们将努力实现多式联运水平、信息联通水平和港口服务水平的3个提升。
In the construction of systems and routes, we will endeavor to improve the levels of intermodal transport, information collectivities, and port services. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, our guest today, for presenting us this information about the Qingzhou Port. And before we enter our last topic today, I have a video about the Qingzhou Port to show you guys how amazing this port is and how important this port is for the corridor. Let's check this video. Okay, isn't that amazing video about the Qingzhou Port? Since we are all here connecting, I'm going to bring up the last topic, RCEP, because it's really a meaningful agreement to the regions that we connect with today. John, can you tell us what's RCEP and the meaning of this trade agreement to the world?
Of course. Well, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, entered into force on January 1st, 2022, which will further create a favorable environment for international cooperation. Under the RCEP framework, the new international land-sea trade corridor will better connect markets, resources, and industries of countries along the route and create favorable opportunities for industry development for China and Southeast Asia.
So here comes our last discussion with our reporters from Chongqing, Guangxi. Can you update us the latest key areas development in these regions under the RCEP? Okay, we have Kevin here and Nick here, and we are going to talk about RCEP right now.
All right. So next, like Mr. Wang, Production Department, Port Limited. Please, Mr. Wang. 于2022正式实施生效，为合作创造在RCEP。好的，最近呢，
发展开铁联运，降低物流成本，提高效率，6个方面共出台了22个具体的措施，对于高质量的发展及污染性通道有大力的这个促进作用。
Guangxi has issued the policies and measures of Guangxi on high-quality construction of a new international land sea trade corridor, which proposes 22 specific measures on 6 fronts to promote the high-quality development of the corridor.
广西呢将一如既往的支持规模化、常态化的开启新的班列和这个班轮。那我们也是将促进这一个通畅国内大循环，促进国际国内双循环，对于打造我们北部湾门户港有积极的促进作用。
Guangxi will support the regular and large-scale operation of serial intermodal container trains and ships and sea highway intermodal container trucks in the port in order to attract the transportation of more cargoes through the port. 3 routes are of great significance for unblocking the domestic economic cycle, facilitating the national establishment of a development pattern featuring both domestic and international economic cycles, enhancing the appeal of the new international land sea trade corridor, and creating an international gateway port for the Beifu Gulf. Thank you, Mr. Wang. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Kevin. And I think Nick is the next one to answer this question, right?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this question.
Okay, you're on.
Yeah, I'm here. So for this question, as you know, as we all know that RCEP comprises 10 ASEAN nations plus China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. It is the world's largest free trade agreement covering about 30% of global GDP and a third of the world's population. The deal will enable the Asia-Pacific region to become a global manufacturing and supply chain hub and serve as a catalyst to spur post-pandemic regional and global trade. And for Chongqing, we are the economic engine in Southwest China. We're now striving to conduct more targeted training for companies so they can better understand the policies and be involved in the business. Relying on the new international land sea trade corridor, we will keep improving intermodal transportation networks. And for customs, we're promoting the implementation of the self-declaration system to help more enterprises make good use of the relevant preferential policies. Yeah, that's all for my part. That's all Chongqing is now striving to push. Yeah, back to you, Echo.
Thank you, Nick and Kevin, and also thanks Mrs. Chang Lianghui and Mr. Ouyang Gangsam. And it's been a really great journey connecting with you. And I wanted to ask Zhan and Yaoli to sum up for today's live stream.
Thank you, Echo. Well, it's a great pleasure to participate in this live stream today. As one of the planners of this program, I realized that the new international land sea trade corridor is grabbing attention worldwide. Although under the COVID-19 pandemic and generally growing economic situation, the ILSTC has made incredible progress in boosting domestic and international development, enhancing regional connectivity and supporting the international industrial chain and supply chain. To further promote the new international land sea trade corridor, China and Singapore signed a specialized cooperation plan under the CCI. The plan proposes medium and long-term goals. By 2025, a new corridor will be completed for trade, logistics, industrial cooperation, scientific and humanistic exchanges between Western China and ASEAN countries. The total trade volume of Chinese places along the ILSTC with ASEAN is expected to reach $180 billion. The rail sea combined transport container volume will reach 500,000 TEUs, and the cross-border railroad trains will achieve 2,000.
The long-term goal is to form a multi-dimensional, efficient, open, secure, and stable modern interconnection network that effectively connects the Eurasian continent and benefits Western China, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, Europe, and other regions by 2035, in which Chongqing is a significant node. In April and May this year, Chongqing started to operate an international intermodal express between China and Malaysia, Thailand, Laos, and Mongolia. The International Railway Express between China and Myanmar was also opened. We can see that the new international land-sea trade corridor has made continuous advancement to expand the transportation routes, aiming to reach all over the world. Other countries in the ASEAN regions are welcome to participate in the co-construction of the new international land-sea trade corridor, jointly promote the construction of the corridor into a new stage of high-quality development, and inject energy and momentum into the prosperity and stability of the regions and even the world.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. A great discussion with our journalist, Zhan, and our guest, Yao Li, and all the reporters and our guests in Chongqing, Guangxi, and Singapore with us about this new international land and sea trade corridor. In Chongqing, we have a newly opened exhibition hall about this IOST project. It is a must-visit place if you care about this national strategy and really want to explore the city. We have a short clip about it, and I will release it as the ending of our show today. Thanks for watching. This is iChongqing's channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.